So it is Wednesday, March 18th. Yesterday we did law of sines versus law of cosines. Today we're going to do some Unit 8 review. And then tomorrow on Google Classroom, there's actually going to be the Unit 8 exam. So this is to help us study for that exam. I'm going to make it shorter than it would be in a normal class, and it'll be multiple choice, but you will have to submit a picture of your work. So we're going to review for that right now. So before we get started, I just want you to take about 2 minutes. Try number 1 on the do now. Super important question. When you're done, hit play on the video. All right, so going over this first question, we want to find the largest value, and I'm looking at a bunch of trig functions. And the first one is talking about sine of A. So my reference angle is A, so that's the angle I'm looking at over here. And then I want to think about SOHCAHTOA, because I know for sine, I got to know what side's over what. And for sine, it's opposite over hypotenuse. So I need the opposite side, which is 7, over the hypotenuse, which is 25. Now be careful when we go to tangent of B, I have to switch my reference angle. I'm looking at B now. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. The opposite of B is 24 over the adjacent of B is 7. So 24 over 7. And we're looking for the largest value. So right away I see that B, 24 over 7, that's bigger than 7 out of 25 because that is a mixed number. And that's going to be greater than 1 if I put it in my calculator. So I already can cross off A. Now if I'm looking at B, sine of B, opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite's 24. I'm going to draw this over here. Hypotenuse is 25, so that's less than 1. And the last one, cosine of A. Go back to the red angle. Adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of A is 24 over 25. So the correct answer is the only one that's bigger than 1 is tan B. So that's going to be the answer for which one's the largest. All right, so we're going to actually skip number 2 on the do now, and we're going to go into the packet on page 2. So the skill drill for today is going to be memorizing formulas, because if we were taking a test or a quiz, you would not be given these formulas. Let's say we're on the Regents, you have to have these memorized. So I would take a minute, see how many you could get from memory. If you got to look back in your notebook, you can, and then I'll just show you the answers really quick. Pause the video, try the skill drill. All right, so here we go. Pythagorean theorem. And that's 3 sides. Sine, opposite over hypotenuse, cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent, opposite over adjacent. And I remember that using SOHCAHTOA. Law of sines. So this is sine of angle A divided by the side across from it equals sine of the other angle divided by the side across from that angle. Law of cosines. This is the hard one. I'd say use a star. The important side squared equals the other 2 sides squared. Kind of like Pythagorean theorem. Minus 2 times the other 2 sides. Cosine the important angle. Altitude formula. Lag 1 over altitude equals altitude over lag 2. And then these are just the baby triangles down here. And remember, for a 45, 45, 90, the simplest one is 1, 1, and we found this radical 2 using Pythagorean theorem. And then the same thing over here. The smallest angle across from the smallest angle is the smallest side, that's the 1. Across from the 90 is the 2. And across from the 60 is 3, but it's not a full 3, it's radical 3. So those are the baby triangles that we learned about in Unit 8 as well. All right, let's go to the next page and we'll start doing a couple problems. Here's a really important just flow chart when we're using trigonometry. There's basically 5 different things we can use. I might even add a 6th thing we can use the altitude formula for some of these problems. But this flowchart just shows you how you should think about what I'm going to use. So if you are using, or is it a right triangle, should always be your first question. If it's a right triangle, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem, trig, or inverse trig. If it's not a right triangle, we're going to use law of sines or law of cosines. And then these are just some questions that ask to help you break it down, but most of you are really good at those. But the most important question, is it a right triangle? So let's go. All right, so let's go to the next page and we'll see when should we use each thing. And you could flip back or rewind back to this flow chart if you get stuck. So this is kind of just another skill drill. What I want you to do is figure out which of the following you would use. So here's all your options up in this top gray box, and you have to choose one of those options for each problem. So for example, on the first one, I see that it's not a right triangle. So I always look for that first. So I know not right triangles, got to use law of sines or law of cosines. Well, it has two angles and one side. And I think about my equations. The law of cosines is like a side squared plus another equals a side squared plus the other side squared minus 2 side cosine of the angle. So that formula only has one angle. It has a lot of sides. So this situation has two angles, and I'm going to have to find HJ. So this would be a law of sines, because that formula has two sides and two angles. That's what our situation requires. All right, pause the video, try the other ones, see how many you could get right out of the following 5. All right, so I'm going to go over the answers really quickly. If we were going to find x here, a common mistake might think this is an altitude problem, but I'm actually just looking at this triangle. I have 2 out of 3 sides. This would be Pythagorean theorem to find that missing side. You would use the altitude, however, if you were looking for y, then I would use the altitude formula. This one, find x. Okay, I have an angle. It's a right triangle. I'm looking for a side, and I have a reference angle. So this is just trig. And you might have even said, you didn't have to say this, but it's opposite and hypotenuse. So that would be sine. This one, not a right triangle. So that limits us to 2 options, law of sines or law of cosines. I see 3 sides and 1 angle. The formula with 3 sides and 1 angle is law of cosines. Bottom one, what's the angle? Well, I see it's a right triangle, so I can use trig, Pythagorean theorem, or inverse trig. And since I'm looking for an angle, it's going to be inverse trig. And it's adjacent hypotenuse, so it'd be actually end up being cos -1 of some fraction. Last one, finding AD. Well, that's the altitude of this triangle, so we would use the altitude formula. So one of the hardest parts of Unit 8 is there's so many options. Like, look at all those options. We got to determine which one we're going to use and why before we even start our problem. So that's why we did that skill drill. We're going to try a couple more questions, and then you'll get to the homework/exit ticket. One question I wanted to go over really quick is just those baby triangles, because we haven't done them a while. When you would get these a lot on the regions or on a quarterly is when you have no calculator. So this is a way to use trigonometry without a calculator, these baby triangles. So remember, on a 30, 60, 90, across from the 30 is 1, hypotenuse 2, and the other side is square root of 3. For 45, 45, 90, it's 1, 1 radical 2. I'm going to skip this part for now. So in this diagram, determine the sum of A and B. So I got to find both sides. Well, right away, I see it's a 30 and a 90, so this angle's got to be 60. I'm going to draw a baby triangle that looks exactly the same. So I'm going to draw the 90 degree here. This is 30. This is 60. And on my baby triangle, across from the 30 was 1. So across from the 30 is 1. Across from the 90, the hypotenuse is 2. Across from the 60 is radical 3. So now that I've figured out my baby triangle, I could just make proportions to solve. So A matches up with 1. So A over 1 equals, let's do, well, I can't do B over 2 because that'd be 2 variables. So I'm going to choose 15 over radical 3. All right, and now I could cross multiply and solve, but if you look, A divided by 1 is just A. So A equals 15 over radical 3. But remember, at the beginning of this unit, we said we can't have a radical on the bottom. Multiply top and bottom by radical 3 over radical 3. So I get A equals 15 radical 3 over 3. I could divide 15 by 3. A equals 5 radical 3. Okay, so there's A. Now I'm going to do B. Okay, B over 2. Divide my paper. B over 2 equals, let's do 15 over radical 3. So B times radical 3 when I cross multiply equals 30. So B equals 30 divided by radical 3. Can't have the radical on the bottom, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by radical 3. So B equals 30 radical 3 over 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10 radical 3. So I would always go back and just double check the question, determine the sum of A and B. Well, A is 5 radical 3 plus B was 10 radical 3. And just like 5x plus 10x, this would combine and give me 15 radical 3. Combine like terms, which are the numbers outside. All right, so I'm not going to make you do the bottom one. That's a 45, 45, 91, because you could just memorize that pattern. But I am going to ask you to go one more question with me, and then you're going to be on the homework. All right, last 2 questions. So we're going to do the we do together. So it says in the accompanying diagram, all this information, what is CB to the nearest whole number? So I got to find this side, CB. Well, right away, I see that it's not a right triangle. So I should automatically be thinking law of sines or law of cosines. Now I have 2 angles and 2 sides. So if we think about the law of sines formula, that's talking about 2 angles and 2 sides. So I'm going to use law of sines. So I like right away, I see 7 across from 44. So sine 44 over 7 equals, now I need another proportion. I have to find x. So I want to use this angle, but there's no angle there. It's not 53, so I can't do sine 53. But I could figure out that angle using the triangle sum theorem. If this angle is 53 and this one's 44, 53 plus 44 is 97. 180 minus 97 is 83. So angle A is 83 degrees. So I'm going to do sine 83 over x. Now to solve, I just got to cross multiply. X times sine 44 equals 7 times sine 83. I want to get the x by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by sine 44. That way, if I divide it over here, that cancels out. So I get x equals 7 sine 83 divided by sine 44. If you type that in your calculator, you would get 10. So that is CB to the nearest whole number. It is 10. So listen to my directions because I'm going to explain what to do for work and what you're going to submit now. So your work for today that you're going to submit, if you look here, I flipped to the Unit 8 homework review. If you're on Google Classroom, it's the last couple pages of that packet. So it's the Unit 8. You'll notice the answers are here so you could check your work. And what I want you to do, there's 1, 2, 3 on the front. And I think there are 3 on the front and 3 on the back. So you just have to choose 3 to do. So I'm going to leave it up here for a second. So if you have to write these questions down on a separate sheet of paper, you could do these first 3 questions, or you could do the next 3 questions. And I'm going to flip to the next 3 questions now. So you could also use these 3 questions to practice. Remember, the answers are here. I would look in your notebook if you have any questions. We've done a few of these before. I believe this was 8 point, I think it was 12 or 13. So that was a tricky one. But try either the first 3 or these last 3, and then submit a picture to me, and that'll be your grade for today.